Man, oh man, I love what I do. I do love what I do. Thank you for tuning in to Naijha Speaks. I have a guest on today. This is epic. We're talking about House of Vegans being the first Black vegan restaurant to open in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I have Laquana on, and she's going to tell us all about what's been going on since the opening. Thank you for joining us today, Laquana. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So you know why we're here.
Uh, definitely.
First black owned vegan restaurant in Harrisburg. That's major, man. That's major. You
It is.
gotta
It is.
pat yourself on the back. Okay, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit
Doing all
about
good.
yourself and your
Definitely
vegan journey.
try to make sure. So. I'm sorry, it must have broke up.
Oh, no problem. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your
Okay.
vegan journey.
Okay, of course. My name is Laquana. I go by Quana or Mocha. I've been vegan for 3 years, a little over 3 years now. And this vegan journey has been amazing. Like, initially, I went vegan because for health reasons. Initially, I went vegan for health reasons. I had asthma really bad. I had allergies, eczema, and in college, I did sports. I did track. I did tennis. However, I could never excel as much as I wanted to at my sports. So I started looking into Dr. Sabi and Dr. Live Africa. And with me looking into both of them, I discovered that Dr. Sabi, he, allegedly, and I say he did, he cured many people from different ailments. And I was like, well, let me try this. I'm not him per se, but let me look into further what he was doing and what herbs he gave for these people. Like, I can do this. I want to do my own experiment on myself. And I did that. Um, I bought herbs. I bought many herbs. It was going to be a trial and error type thing until I rid myself of the asthma and the allergies. So I fasted and cleansed for 40 days. It was very hard. It
I
was
can
very
imagine.
hard. I lost 35
I've never
pounds.
fasted before. I don't even know how it is to fast.
Man, listen, if you asked me to do it again, I wouldn't be able to do it. Like, I would not be able to. I tried to do it for like a week before. This was recently, like 2 months ago, and I didn't make it past like day two. Like, I don't know how I did it before, but I was determined. Initially, though, yeah, I fasted for 40 days, and I lost 35 pounds within that 40 days. So about a pound a day.
Wow. Wow.
And
What did you do
uh,
on the fast? Like what were you taking on this fast? Like what was it? Cuz some people do the juice fast, some people do water. Like what were you doing?
I took Irish sea moss, I took sarsaparilla, I took burdock root, I took golden seal, I took yellow
Wow,
dog.
golden
So
seal.
and I took yeah, I took spirulina and chlorella. That's all the herbs I took. And I drank a gallon of water a day. And I had this found the biggest like jug I could fit like a smoothie in. And it was about I think it was like 64 ounces. And I made a smoothie big enough to fit and fill the whole cup. And that's all I did. Like literally. And just a gallon of water a day and that smoothie filled up in that cup. Other than that, I was drinking water and taking the herbs. But I felt amazing. Like I don't feel like that now. Not to say like internally, but because my diet was much cleaner because I was detoxing. But I felt great. Like I felt great. Like I had a high for real.
Wow, wow, amazing, amazing. Yeah, I'm still fearful of the fasting. I need to try it one time. Let's talk about House of Vegans. I mean, because I'd be scared. Like, I'm not gonna eat anything else or just juices. And,
Yeah.
I got to get my mind right for that. So, what prompted you and
Yeah.
your fiance Stefan to open House of Vegans? And when did you open?
So House of Vegans, we opened July 19th of this year. So we opened during the pandemic. A lot of people says why we opened. during the pandemic, and we had no choice. I'll say that. Our
That was gonna
initial
be my
agreement
next
was going to
question.
be.
During the pandemic, like you did this during the
Oh, okay,
pandemic, like
okay.
why and how? And you said you had no choice.
We got our spot in January. Stefan worked for Pepsi, so he was delivering sodas to the pizza shop next door, and he was delivering sodas, and he saw the spot where we're at now, and he asked them. He was like, um, "What are y'all doing with this spot?" And they were like, "Well, we're not doing anything with it. We're going to tear down a bar and everything." And he posed his idea. He pushed his idea. Loved it. And they were like, "Oh, vegan food. If you believe you can do it, okay, let's do it. We got an agreement." So he called me hype. He was hype. He was like, "Boo, we got a spot." What you mean we got a spot? Like, we literally just got our LLC October 15th of 2019. And then 2020, January, we got a spot. I'm like, what? I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, stop. He said, we got to meet and have a formal agreement and do paperwork and stuff on Monday. It was like Thursday. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's like all set and in. So I'm like, okay. So, yeah, we met with the owner that we leased from, and he loved it. Initially, we pitched it again and started talking terms and stuff like that. And we're here today. Initially, we started cooking outside the house. We started cooking outside of our home, just to get our name out there. When we first initially got our LLC, we were cooking outside the house. We were outside of our home, and then we were doing like pop-up events and stuff like that.
So you didn't. So you didn't do any location scouting. Like is this the first location you saw and you opened? So you know how
Say
normally
it
when
one more time. I'm sorry, it started breaking up.
when you're looking for a location, did you go through that phase of looking for a location first, or this is just a location that popped up that Stefan asked about? Is this the first location that you two saw before you opened, or did you look at other spots?
We didn't look anywhere. We really wasn't trying to look anywhere. We
Wow.
like this location just it was a blessing. We started cooking outside of our house November 2nd. It was a Saturday. I was pregnant, mind you. Like our son's about to be 1 next week. So we started cooking outside of our home November 2nd, 2019. And we were booming. Like we were booming. It was on every Saturday. And someone, I guess, we say, they might have been hating on us. Who knows? However, they called the city on us. And the city got us shut down, of course. They said we had to stop. So we're like,
Right. Right.
they was like, it's illegal. They sent us like, what? Everybody was outside their house. So but we're like, okay. So once she gave us a letter and we shut down in January next week, I mean, like I said, it was crazy. The next week he was in here delivering sodas. Mind you, it wasn't his route. He normally delivers sodas here, but he was delivering sodas for someone because they were off that day, and that's how we came up on the spot.
So it was meant. It was definitely meant. Wow, that is good. How did you come up with the name? How did y'all come up with the name House of Vegans?
No one ever asked us that question.
Oh yeah, well
However,
I'm gonna ask you because the name is everything. Like the name was, I had Drop Squad Kitchen on a couple of days ago. I asked Abundant Child the same question because the name is everything. So you came up with a name, House of Vegans. How did that happen? Like why that name?
Steph that name. I'll say that. He was like, because we were like, what were we going to all, you want to open a restaurant. Initially, I'll say he was the one that kept pitching the idea for the restaurant. So, I'm going with the flow. I'm like, okay, I'll ride for my man. That's fine. And I said, well, what's the restaurant name going to be called? And he was saying some stuff. I was saying some stuff. We both didn't like it. He was really shooting a lot of minds down. And then he was like, House of Vegans. And I was like, I guess. And he's like, House of Vegans. And I was like, I don't care. I'm like, that sounds actually better than what we were coming up with. So I'm like, that's
what was some of the names you were coming up with?
we had to give them.
Okay, we're losing you, Laquana.
My name, so
Well, let's talk about some of the challenges that you had opening the business. So we know you opened during the pandemic in a time when a lot of businesses were closing. Now I'm not sure what was going on in Pennsylvania, but I know here in Maryland, I sit on the board of the Maryland Restaurant Association, and 40% of the restaurants in this state may be permanently closing. So that's the reality. You opened during the pandemic. What were some of the challenges that you went through, that you faced trying to open House of Vegans?
financial challenges. Seriously, like
Of
we
course,
opened this
yeah,
spot off of every dollar we had, like
yeah.
every dollar, no loan, like every dollar we had. So initially we thought we needed one. We tried to apply for a loan. We couldn't get it. You know what I'm saying? The financial thing. And then, you start getting discouraged a little bit. You're like, dang. And then we don't got family that got money like that to be like, oh, can we get 1,000 everybody? We pay you back as soon as we open because we know we going to get it. And it was financially. But then, too, I just had our son. So I wasn't working. I was stay home all the time. All of it really Stefan. You know what I'm saying? Like he was busting his behind every day to pay the rent at the house and make sure we was cool, along with trying to set this thing. And he'd come down here, go to work, o'clock in the morning, get off, try to set it up. I try to set up somebody to watch my son, but other than that, I ain't want nobody watching him. Because COVID just kicked off. He was so small at the time. It was just a lot, but
Right.
financially, that was the biggest challenge. It was the biggest challenge. And then COVID, because we got discouraged because we was like, okay, if we do get the money, we want to be ready.
You're breaking up somewhat, Laquana, but when I'm listening,
When are we going to
go
open? Like,
ahead.
we need to stop all.
Mhm. When I'm listening to your story, it sounds sort of like what we went through here at the Land of Kush. Land of Kush, we opened during the height of the financial mortgage crisis, and Greg and I used our own money, and financial challenges exist as we were at the last stage of opening the restaurant, and you know Greg had to go after that last dollar just to get us open. And once we were open, I got pregnant, and a year later we had our first child, and it was just a lot of snowball of stuff. Now I was in corporate. I was still in corporate working. I took a long leave of absence after I had my daughter. But he was struggling. He was struggling, dealing with the restaurant and all the, because we were first time restaurateurs, just like I hear from you and Stefan. We had no experience. We didn't know what to do with this thing, but it was a beast. So I definitely commend you, because the restaurant business is, one of the most challenging businesses to open. And most of the time, restaurants fail within the first year. It is a lot of work. So blessings to you being the first Black vegan restaurant in Harrisburg, PA. Let's talk about how your opening day went. So you opened in July. How was that?
Yeah.
I hear whoo.
Open day. I know were heard of this that people that every day. But then you ask who they heard, oh, they're cooking outside the house. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till they open. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine, but a lot of people heard about us and they were ready for us. So opening day, they showed nothing but love. Like I got teary eyed. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, our line was down the street during COVID, and it was like 90 degrees outside, and people were waiting. They were sweating, but they were waiting outside for our food.
Wow. Wow, wow. What were some of your top items? I have a plate here that you sent with these are your staple. This is staple right here. Staple soul food items, your mac and cheese collards. I see what is that? Chicken drummies, cornbread, rice, and some ribs. I'm not sure what's next to the collards. Talk about, this. This looks like a hot item here.
I do apologize. It keeps breaking up. Talk about say it one more time.
The item that we have on the screen here. This is your staple vegan soul food dishes right now. That's what I'm looking at. It looks really good. Is this one of your hot sellers? So what we could do, Laquan, is we if you want to try to find another location where the signal's a little bit stronger, we can disconnect and reconnect perhaps. Or if you want to try to move around to a stronger signal. This looks really good, by the way. Do you want to try that, Laquan? Okay. All right. I don't know if Laquan is here. I mean, Laquan, had provided a bunch of pictures. I mean, this looks like a burger here, and I got to try to make my way out to Harrisburg for some of this stuff. I mean, look at this. I'm not sure if this is chicken sandwich or what, but
That's
this
my
just looks good. Look,
favorite.
what is that? What is this sandwich here?
That's the Jacko Burger. That's our newest burger. The Jacko Burger. That's named after our 15-year-old culinary burger maker. He's in school. He
Wow.
goes to culinary school, DC Tech, and yeah, that we named the burger after him. So he definitely be putting on Sunday on our burger day. So that's
Nice.
his special burger named after him. But that's my favorite one now, out of all of them.
Nice. And what's this here?
That's the chopped cheese. That's our
Nice.
chopped
Nice.
cheese. So like cheese, yeah. So one's a loaded
Oh,
one, one's a basic one. But
oh.
yeah,
Where are you located in Harrisburg exactly?
we are located at 426 3rd Street in Harrisburg, Midtown. So we're right off the corner of 3rd and Riley Street.
Third and Riley. Are there any pleasurable experiences that you've had so far since July in the restaurant, or since this is your first time experiencing being a restaurant owner? Are there some, great experiences? Any testimonies you want to share?
Uh, well, initially, honestly, I'm gonna say this: I went to college for criminal justice, and
What?
I never thought I would have been working. Yeah, like I never thought I'd be in a restaurant. Like as an owner, I always wanted to be an owner, entrepreneur of something. However, I never would have thought of a restaurant. Like I always cook for leisure, personal, but not for masses of people in the city where I'm from. So it was definitely a learning experience. Like initially, I'll say this: I definitely got through with time because when I first started, I mean, I'd be here day and night, like hardly sleeping. Mind you, we had a baby that was only a few months old, and now, oh, I'm cool now. Like I learned tips and tricks to get faster. I got my dad that comes in here. He helps me prep. He's like my dad. He had to hire him. Like my dad, he is amazing, and he loves to cook. So he's one of my preppers, but he's good. He's good. And then I have my workers. I had to teach them to prep. Like so, all my workers are cross trained. If I need cauliflower cut, they gonna cut it. If I need whatever it is, they're cutting and washing greens. They're cutting and washing cabbage, like all of that. So I got a lot of help. I got a
How
lot of
many
help.
days a week are you open and the hours?
One more time.
Just how many days a week are you open in your hours?
Oh, 5 days. 5 days a week. Initially, we actually are changing our hours tomorrow. Initially, we were opening 3:30 to 9 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But now I'm starting lunch tomorrow, so we'll be open for lunch tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday.
Nice, nice, nice. Are there any other upcoming projects or any special events? We're moving into the holiday season with Thanksgiving around the corner. Is there any thing that you're all planning out there at House of Vegans?
House Vegans, nothing particularly with that. We still are trying to make a little, some moves. However, we have a book cafe that's open across the street. So we have a second business venture opening across the street right after Thanksgiving. So we'll be opening this month. We don't have a release date just yet because we still have a lot of setting up to do.
Right.
And my fiance is actually over there now, still setting up with our son. But Good Brothers Book Cafe. I need everyone to come out and support that as well, just like they did House of Vegans. Um, we want the lines long too for that. Like we need it epic, just like House of Vegan. But that's our next business venture. I'll be here initially running this still. My fiance is going to be across the street with the book cafe and coffee shop. Also, y'all can purchase Fifth Acres Coffee, which is our coffee we'll be selling, and our coffee shop as well. So
What is the website? Your website, is it House of Vegans? House of Vegans. I want to share that. House of Vegans.
yes, House of Vegans website is House of Vegans CFC. So C is in Charlie, F is in Frank, C is in Charlie.com.
All right. Good, good, good. Any piece of advice you would like to leave the viewers with before we go, Laquana? And just think about like what you've been through since this opening. Something that you want to share with everyone, because it just seems like there was a lot going on in preparation or lack of preparation for the opening.
Yeah. Uh, um, I would say that initially we have a lot of people that come to us and ask us how we did it. So don't
Yes.
give up. You're gonna have obstacles. Like that's it. Just keep the motivated, determination, and know the end goal. Like we didn't give up initially. We never even thought this far, but I'll say I didn't. I didn't think this far into it. My fiance, he has. I mean, he looks down 10 years down the line, and he's trying to get there in a month, and just give up. I mean, the ending goal is going to
Don't
be
don't
amazing. We
don't
smile
give
every
up.
day and say we got a restaurant. Yeah, that's really it. Just don't give
Yes,
up.
don't give up. I mean, and you got to believe in that. You got to believe in yourself and what you're trying to offer your community, because it is a big thing. You're advocating for vegan food and I'm sure social justice in your community of Harrisburg. So again, this is major, it's epic. You're the first one to do it in that area. So sending blessings to you and your fiance and the young child. So yeah, we opened in the height of the financial crisis. People thought we were crazy because we were planning on leaving our cushy jobs. But if it's in your heart and this is something you want to do and the purpose is good, you got to go for it. Everyone, you're tuning in to Naijha Speaks. Please like, subscribe, and comment on naijaspeaks.com. We also have the Black Vegetarian Society of Maryland, which is our nonprofit. We meet people where they are, so you can check us out there at bvsmd.org. And if you're in the Baltimore area, definitely check out the Land of Kush. You can go to landofkush.com. I'm going to be working or planning a webinar called "Don't Let COVID Kick Your Small Business Black Ass" or your small Black business ass, because I think this is something that we need. Yeah, it's real serious, because you can have the best of all any product, but if you're
I
not
like this.
marketing it uh appropriately, you can run into issues. So I'm posting a survey, and I definitely want to connect with those people, new business owners, people thinking about opening a business. This is something that I'm launching in December. Lots of people have asked me, could I share my knowledge and things like that. I'm putting this together for you. This is my gift for the holidays for any of the viewers that are starting a business or thinking about starting a business, may need a little bit of assistance in terms of marketing and using the appropriate tools and not having to spend all of this money. So if you're interested, fill out the survey. I'll be reaching out to folks. This is for a select group of people. I'm not looking for folks that are already, doing their thing. We're talking about the new business owner or the people that are getting ready to open a business, because it is important. You're in the game now. So it's all about bringing those new customers in and the repeat customers in. And that's how you're going to survive and thrive during COVID, because we're probably going to have another year of this, right? Going into 2021 with COVID. So, let's get some badass marketing strategies down pat so we can, go into the new year running. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and from your young child, Laquana, and blessings again to you and Stefan. And yeah, keep pushing, keep pressing, and get to that next level. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank